Poor child. I'll make you human for 3 days.
Is that even possible?
Watching you.
Oh, right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the stream. I think I've got double... Do I have double audio? Okay, I shouldn't have it anymore. Okay. Was there an echo? Is the echo gone now? Let me know. How's everybody doing, man? I hope y'all are having a really good one. This is our first multi-stream ever on the Damascus Gaming side of the house. So we've got it on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So what that means primarily is that I'm running a lot of things on the technical side simultaneously. So if anything is kind of weird or funky, please let me know. Hopefully that will not be the case here, but right now we're waiting for Neil to jump in. Both Neil and Nix were playing in an EMC event, so they're just now loading into their respective matches here. But yeah, hope everyone's having a good one. We are just kind of waiting for all the technical stuff to get through. I think we got that finally set up here, but let's go ahead and jump into the game itself. We'll be working on the technical side, so it's going to be a little bit kind of rough at the start, but we'll get there. Hopefully everyone is doing good. I see Austin, Alexi, Dimcat, y'all are in here. I think I saw Deldado up at the top as well. Hope y'all are doing good. Let's go ahead and get into this first one here. Right now we're just kind of waiting for the match to start up. But we are currently, let's see. Hopefully you all are having a really good day today. As we figure out why all of my stuff is currently breaking. But no worries. Alright, let's see here. We might have to fix some of this stuff on the next one because I'm having some serious technical problems, but it's alrighty. We will get it sorted out here. But this is going to be the first matchup of the day is going to be Air Aqua versus Damascus Gaming. And if you've been watching the Damascus Gaming streams at all, you will notice that one of their racers is Randomized. Randomized has been one of our casters on the Damascus Gaming streams. But he is actually competing here today. So it's going to be a little bit on the wild side as we get into this first race here. Already starting off though, the first track of the day is going to be Control. Control has been a really good one for both Neil and Exotica over their past two regionals. They've really been also dialing it in more and more every time that they race. Neil and Nix have got some really good PBs. both on control as well as grips. And we'll probably be seeing grip here pretty soon as well. I did miss the majority of the pick and ban, so I do imagine we'll be seeing grip here pretty soon. But as we come into the bobsled on control, we'll see that Exotic is up in the lead with Pistolo right behind him. Neil's pulling in that good third place position. Looks like Pistolo made a little bit of a bump there, which is going to cost him that speed, letting Neil and Exotica kind of pull away here. Nick's really up in front right now. You can see that Randomize is about 1.5 seconds behind as they come to the identity. Nix and Neil both nailed it perfectly, coming in with the first ace of the day. It is officially 3-0 Damascus Gaming versus Air Aqua. If you are brand new to Trackmania, the way that these competitions work is that the racers at the beginning of the round, they will pick the tracks that they are going to race on. That is called a pick and ban portion. So the tracks are mostly selected by the racers, with the last track actually being randomly selected by the game. And tracks are won by the first team making it to 10 points. So if your team gets 10 points to win that track, and today is going to be a best of 7, so you have to win 4 tracks in each track that you're on. 4 tracks to advance. Right now, see the Neil's with the struggle right now, looking at the bobsled here. Exotic is trying to get back to the front here. Basola's got a really good lead right now with Randomize taking that second place position. Exotic is fighting to get in here. What happens here at the identity. The identity can be an absolute killer right there. You just saw Pistola kind of launches off there. Neil and Nix with the identity a little bit more cleanly than Air Aqua, which is going to enable Nix and Neil to get another ace. And an ace is when both your first and second place is on your team. So if you take first and second, that's an ace. If you take first and third respectively, that's called a victory. The victory is 2 points to your team, 1 point to the opposing team, and then a draw is if you take first and fourth or second and third. Apparently my audio is too low. Drop this down a little bit. Buff that a little bit. How does that sound, everybody? Can you hear me better now? How are we sounding now? Let me drop down more than that. Alright, there we go. But yeah, on control, really the identity here is going to be the killer. We're going to have to see if Air Aqua has what it takes to kind of get to that identity cleanly. You can see that Neil's having a little bit of trouble here in the bobsled. Exotica is really driving aggressively right now, working his way into the beginning of the identity on here on control. We've had 2 back-to-back aces so far. Neil, man, hits kind of hard right there. Have to see if he can get over this one. Exotica does make it across first. Randomize comes over just 2 seconds after him. And unfortunately, Pistola does go wide coming out of the identity, which is going to enable Neil to pull that victory. It is now 8-1. Looking kind of dire here for Air Aqua as Damascus Gaming is really dominating control. See that Darth Schmutz just joined in on the YouTube side. If you are not aware of this, this is the first time that Damascus Gaming is doing a dual stream. We got Twitch and YouTube up running simultaneously as we watch Neil and Exotica race here in the Trackmania World Tour Stage 2 of the NCSA Regionals number 2. This is the second one of the season. We got 1 more to go. Both Neil and Exotica right now both racing extremely cleanly here as they both come up into the bobsled. Neil holding a really good line and pace with Exotica right behind him. You can see that Pistola on the live ranking is about half a second behind as Exotica comes into first place. Neil is still right behind him as they both are just following a really good line here. And unless there is some magic coming out of Air Aqua, this is going to be it for control, and that is going to be it. And Exotica and Neil are coming across the line. Exotica with a 5.9.773, with Neil 0.3 of a second behind him. Phenomenal first track here by Damascus Gaming, with them taking control 11-1 against Air Aqua. Next one up is going to be Breaking. Now, this one is going to be a little bit of a flip depending on how well Air Aqua is able to get through this one. Damascus Gaming has not had very good luck on braking. Seems that there's just certain parts of this track that really kind of tear them up. We'll see how it goes today. Not sure if either Neil or Nix were able to get some more practice in on this one. But here we go on the first run of braking of the day. Nick Zotica holding a really good lead with Pistola and Randomized right behind them. The pack is very, very close at this point. Coming into the first dirt section here on braking. Nick Zotica and Randomized right now battling for that first place, with Neil not wanting to be left out of this fight. And dirt is where you're really going to see Nick Zotica shine. He's probably one of the best dirt racers on the NCSA side, arguably in the entire game itself. While Neil is a lot more of your technical racer. You'll see Nick Zotica holds a lot more of those consistent lines, really good pacing. While Neil is a lot more of an aggressive tech-style racer. So you see right there that Neil's going for a little bit more of an aggressive run there. But here we see Nick Zotica coming in very, very well across the line first here on braking. Looks like Randomize is going to come in actually last here. Probably the best run that I've seen so far out of Nix and Neil on braking. Getting a good 2-1 victory to start this one off. But I really do hope that everyone is having a really good day. We do appreciate y'all being with us here. From what I am understanding, there is no official Trackmania World Tour stream today. But I do know that there are a bunch of other streams out there, but I do appreciate every single one of you being here, watching us here on the Damascus Gaming live stream. I mean, you can really see that Nick Zotica is just holding a really, really good line. As unfortunately, Neil makes a really big error right there, sliding out, hitting the wall pretty hard. I think he's going to be out of this one unless he's able to reset. But with the margin for error being so small when it comes to these types of events, it might not be enough. Yeah, I'm looking at 10 seconds right now on the live ranking. It looks like Neil is actually going to be out of this one. It's really up to Nick to get across that line first, which he's able to do here. Coming in at 1 minute, 1.731. And Neil still making it across the line. Almost 11 seconds after Nick Zotica crossed himself. Going into the third run here, Damascus Gaming up 3-2 against Air Aqua. Nick Zotica once again holding the lead. Neil unfortunately makes another mistake right there at the beginning. Randomized and Nick Zotica right now are both battling for first place. Randomized wanted to let Nick Zotica out of his sights, but Nick Zotica not making it easy for him to catch up. When you look at the quality of a racer that Nick Zotica is and the skill sets that he brings to these races, it is extremely difficult to maintain the line and pacing that he is able to keep throughout these different tracks. He's just a really solid all-around racer. Neil is just one of the best tech racers that I've seen. But Neil and Nick Zotica and Randomize are now really just battling for this first place spot. You can see that Randomize is able to get up in front of him right now as they come in. Really curious to see Nick Zotica is able to maintain better momentum coming through, but can he keep it? He can. Nick Zotica comes across first, Randomized second. With Pistola being so far behind, all Neil has to do at this point is just easy go and make it across, and he's able to do that with Pistola coming across in fourth place. It's going to be another victory for Damascus Gaming. It is now 5-3 against Air Aqua. Really impressed to see the performance, man, that Nick's has been putting up on braking. Oh, unfortunately, Neil makes a pretty critical mistake right off the brake, hitting that water at a bad angle. Unfortunately, causes him to bump and slow down pretty hard there. This one thing looks like it might be up to Nick Zotica, really depending on if Neil can get back into this one, but being almost 6 seconds behind. Don't know if that's going to be possible or not. But looks like Pistola also just made a pretty big mistake. Not sure what happened back there, but on the live ranking, he's back 7 seconds now, which puts Neil in front of him by about a full second and a half. But we see right now that Exotic is working his way into the dirt, which he's always at home at. Just working his way nice and easy. If he's paying attention to the live rankings, he'll see that Randomize is about 2.5 seconds behind him right now. So really, he just has to take it nice and easy. Right now, slow and steady wins the race. We're just gunning it for speed, and he's able to get across with actually probably his best time today. That is almost a minute flat. 0.8 of a second off of that. Probably his best run so far. Oh, and unfortunately, Pistola does slide off there at the end. He will not be able to cross the finish line, which once again puts Damascus Gaming into another victory. 7-4. We are now inside of ace range. If you're Air Aqua, this is not where you want to see the scoreboard at right now, especially because any serious mistakes made on your side can put Damascus Gaming into that ace range. We can close out breaking right here, right now, but it does look like everyone is just kind of in that pack right now. Randomize is kind of dropping back by about half a second, but Pistola is still kind of in range here. Randomize is just out of reach of the pack, but he should be able to catch up here, knowing the kind of racer that he is. Oh, and Neil bumps hard coming through that slide. That is not what we wanted to see here on the DG stream, but with Exotica still maintaining that good first place position with a good pace in line, as long as he can maintain it coming through the last part of braking. If he can get across first, he can deny the ace. He's going to be able to do that here. Exotica just showing why he is one of the most consistent racers in Trackmania. He's just been shaving off time with every run that he's doing here. And that is going to be a draw. Damascus Gaming and Air Aqua both get a point off of that one, but Damascus Gaming being 3 points ahead is just inching towards that finish line. So pulling this track point and going 2-0 over Air Aqua in the quarterfinals here in the second regionals of the NCSA. Exotica right now, man, just really holding really good lines in every single one that he does. Neil's just holding up right behind him. The pack is very, very close. At this point, anybody can really break out and take the lead here, but it doesn't look like that Randomize did make a mistake, as well as did Pistola. This might be the chance for an ace. As long as Neil can maintain through this slide, it's giving him problems. He's able to do that as both come down into the dirt. Now it really just depends. Neil does bump, but with the amount of time that Pistolo and Randomize are behind, if they can just maintain a good pace, an ace should be a possibility here. Exotica holding a really good line going through. He's going to make it to the finish line now. Here comes Neil right behind. Not sure what happened. Exotic looks like he might have flown off there, but if he can just catch up, which he will not be able to, but it's not going to matter with that first position by Neil and that third by Exotica. The victory puts Damascus Gaming to 10 points, 10-6. Breaking goes to Damascus Gaming. Air Aqua's really got to start showing some life here. Randomize, if you are listening to this cast, brother, I hope you know that I love you and that you would absolutely destroy me if we were competing together. If you, like I said, if you were not here when we first started off, Randomize has been very, very involved with Damascus Gaming. He has been with us the entire way, and we love, Randomize being, he's not a part of the DG fam, but then again, he is a part of the DG fam. While he holds no position inside the company, he has put so much effort and love into the company that we could not do what we do without him here in Trackmania. He's a phenomenal guy. If you've not been a part of his streams, please go check him out. But back to the action here. We are on Grip. Now, if you have not seen Damascus Gaming on Grip, this is what I would argue their best track out of all of Stage 2. Both Nix and Neil have phenomenal times on Grip. They run it very consistently. This is a very technical track, and that is where you'll see that Nix and Exotica both thrive. Unfortunately, Neil there making a pretty big mistake in the water there, but as we work into the first part of this identity, you can see why the track is called Grip. You have to maintain good momentum to get through this. You can see that Exotica is kind of reaching up on those 2 right tires. And here comes Neil right behind him. Unsurprisingly, it's going to be an ace for Damascus Gaming here on Grip for the first run, which will put them up 3-0 against Air Aqua. This has just been a dominating quarterfinals for Damascus Gaming thus far, but I mean, all the love to Randomize and Pistolo. They are just 2 phenomenal racers, and you know, we love being able to support everyone in the NCSA for Trackmania. Oh, unfortunately, Neil did not get enough momentum to actually hit the checkpoint there, so you saw him kind of go up, but with not crossing the checkpoint, you actually cannot move forward on the track, so now it's going to be completely up to Exotica to get across that finish line first. He does make a little bit of a bump there. We'll have to see if he can use the skills that he has on dirt to kind of get that momentum up and running. But Pistola really just a 1/10 of a second behind him. I mean, he's in really lethal range here, and Exotica's got to get some momentum going in here. Pistola is really working to try to get this first place position off of him here. As you see, Exotica's not letting him have it. Coming in the second part of the identity here on Grip. Exotica's starting to pull away right now with Pistola still right behind him. Exotica's going to be perfect here. And he's going to be... Exotica comes across the line with a 5-4, 3-5-2. Randomized coming in with a 3rd place. And Neil, that is going to be the first draw on Grip. 4-1. Damascus Gaming still maintains by the ace they got on the first run. No, Neil, for everyone asking right now, Neil is actually using the keyboard. I actually have the Open Planet source showing gamepad, but no, he is using a keyboard. I just have it forced to be that way, so it kind of maintains the same look across both of them. But here we go, seeing Neil and Exotica coming in to the dirt track. Neil gets some air and unfortunately flips over as Exotica shoots into first place here. Not sure if Neil is going to be able to recover it, but with Pistola being back by 17 seconds, randomized by 8, he should have plenty to be able to get up here, and he's doing just fine. He's still almost 4 seconds ahead of randomized. Unfortunately, he slides off. This is why the identity is called Grip. You do not maintain that grip coming through, you are going to fly off. But with the mistakes that was made from Air Aqua, it was not enough for them to be able to get up. And here we see Pistola hugging a tree, letting us know that he cares about the planet. Everyone right there, that right there is someone that cares about the environment. Put your hands together right there for Pistola. And there we see Neil hitting that checkpoint, fixing the mistakes that he made on the previous run, as both Neil and Exotica are continuing to work forward here. Looking really, really dire right now for Air Aqua with how well the both of them are holding this pacing in line as they're working their way into the dirt section. I just don't see any way, unless there are mistakes right now for Neil and Nix, which are showing none. This might be the ace that closes out Grip in the quarterfinal, which will put Damascus Gaming up 3-0. And Neil does make a little bit of a mistake there. Can he maintain enough momentum to get through the identity? He is able to. And that's going to be it for Grip in the quarterfinal. Damascus Gaming will go 10-1 against Air Aqua. And that is the 3rd track in a row here in the quarterfinals to go to Damascus Gaming. And that is officially going to be a match point coming in here. If they win the next track, this is where it gets do or die. And the track is going to be Airwalk. Airwalk is one of those tracks. If you have not seen this track before, let me tell you right now, the identity of this one fits it perfectly. You have to hit these launch pads just right to get up to the finish line. If you hit any of them wonky or weird, you are going to get launched off in a awkward direction and have to reset completely. There is no margin for error when it comes to this identity on airwalk. To me, it's very... It reminds me a lot of how air pipes felt in the stage 1. In that it was just one of those, you have to hit that final identity just perfectly or you are really going to feel it. But here we see Exotica and Neil holding a really good pace in line right now. Exotica in a really good first place with Neil about 0.3 of a second behind him. They're just working their way through the track. Neil kind of getting a little bit nose up there as they're working their way up to the identity. And here you'll see they have to hit these pads just right. And Neil, unfortunately, does not get it just right. He's going to go off, but Exotica does get across the line. Now it really depends who's going to get over first. Will it be Neil or Randomize? And Neil does not has too much speed to hit that next one. Can he get across just in time? He is not able to. That last one looked like it was just the right angle to get through, but he was not. There's not enough time to get over, unfortunately. But here we go on the second run here on Airwalk. Damascus Gaming is up 2-1. The pack is very, very close with Neil just kind of right outside of striking range, but don't count him out just yet. He is really good at making up momentum here, but unfortunately he does make a pretty good mistake right there. It does put the burden on Exotica to get across this line first. So he continues to work his way with really good line and pacing right now. Hopefully he's able to just keep this up. And I do have the listen-ins scheduled. We will actually be able to listen in on Neil and Exotica on the next runs here. Oh, it looks like Exotica hit it just kind of off right there. With Pistola taking that first place hit, can Exotica get across? He cannot. It's actually the first victory here for Air Aqua. That is going to tie it up 3-3. This is really where it gets interesting on tracks like this. I'm really curious to see how this one is going to go. Neil has been making some pretty interesting mistakes. I have seen him a little bit of an inconsistency. Like, see another one right there, unfortunately, especially the inside of the tires. Not sure if he's tired or hungry. He's probably both. Someone should get that man a sandwich so we can get right back into this thing. But right now, the pressure really once again falls on to Nix. If he can just get through this, get that first place position, it will at the very least force a draw, unless by some miracle Neil can get back up here. But we see right now that Exotica is coming into the identity of this one. Hitting the first pad, looking good. Looking clean, there he is. Randomized crosses the line. Pistola is across. This could be the problem that I have with this guy's gamer tag Pistolo. If you are a Halo fan, you will recognize that his tag is almost identical to a gamer that I know called Pistola. Pistola was one of the best Halo players in the Halo 3 era. And it's going to throw me off quite a bit, because I used to watch a lot of MLG back in the day, y'all. So if I say Pistola, no, I mean Pistolo. Because they are obviously two very different people. Unless Pistola did a name change playing Trackmania, which would actually would floor me, to be honest. But anyway, moving on. Exotica and Neil. Coming into the dirt section right now. Exotica and Neil both holding really good lines. Pretty sure that Neil might have heard me talking some smack about his mistakes. Might be getting dialed in right now. As both Nix and Neil are working their way into this final climb into the identity. Both of them looking really good. Neil hits that pad looking really good right now. Can he get through? And he can. That is an ace, putting Damascus Gaming into striking range to close this one out if they can repeat what they just did. Because it is now 7-4. And here we go on what could be the final run here on the quarterfinals. Exotica and Neil both need to make this run really clean. Neil holding a really aggressive line as Exotica still comes up and takes over a little bit right here as they come into the grass, working their way through. And Exotica once again holding that really good line. Neil does bump on his front left tire. Doesn't seem to throw him off too bad as both Pistolo and Randomize have made some mistakes here as Nix and Neil are working their way forward. There is about a half-second difference between Pistolo and Neil right now, and Exotica holding a really good lead as they work their way up this climb into the identity. Can Neil hit these pads just right? And Exotica's looking really good right now. He's across. Neil's across. That is going to be it here for the quarterfinals. Unfortunately for Air Aqua, that is going to be the end run for them. But they will be back in the next regional. But Exotica and Neil will be advancing on to the semifinals here. We'll just be waiting for the next brackets to start up. Let's see here. Let's go. So that right there is the quarterfinals locked in. That's what I'm talking about. So now we're going to be going into the semifinals. Now I'm going to have to look at the brackets to see what we're looking at right now. I do believe that they are updating the Liquipedia today. Let's see what we got. Yeah, they most definitely are going to be updating these today. So right now it's going to be down to either us facing off against Air White or Evo Blue. We did face off against Evo Blue yesterday. We took them 3-1 in upper bracket round 2. So I'm curious to see. If I was a betting man, I would say that Air White will be meeting us in the semifinals. Air White has been a very, very good team. Nats and Charles are both two phenomenal racers. So the question's really going to come down to, who's going to do better today? Is it going to be Evo Blue or Air White? Once that round is complete, we will know who we are facing off against. Curious to see if they've updated that yet. Let's see. I do also know that they're updating it on the Discord as well. Yeah, so we are still standing by here. I am going to see if we have got any... Yes, we do. All right, we are going to jump over. We're going to watch another streamer right now. And he right now is broadcasting the Air Kentucky versus Yep team. Let's go ahead and jump on over to this one.
Hey, random.
But we will be back right after this.
Boys are trying their hardest today. Definitely fighting for that first place. Shut up, okay. That's the third time today. I'm just gonna not talk anymore. I'm just gonna sit here and watch. I am cursed. Okay, I'm not gonna say a word next round. Not one word. I'm just gonna be quiet. Oh, never mind. Oh, I thought that was... Oh, we have a mistake from Yep team. Cosmo with a bit of or Dummy with a bit of a slide out there. Timo still has that first. And it's a GG for the Kentucky team today. Yeah, they were a bit shaky today, I will say that. We know what the boys can do. We know they can be at the top of their game. But GG today. They're playing Air Green. Ooh. Now let's see the Wikipedia real quick. Yeah, the EMC. It's all good. It's only one weekend. Do you guys know if Air Green or Yep Team have a stream up that I can raid? I'll check the list real quick, see who's out there. Okay, we got a... That's Evo Blue. Got the Mascot. Do they not? Does not Mello not have a Astrem? Oh damn. Well, I could show it. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. Unless Mr. Randomizer. Randomizer, are you still up? Are you showing off Yep Team? And Air Green? Yeah, if he's gonna show him, then I'll raid. That bastard. He was here a moment ago and now he just left. Wow, rude. No, just kidding. I'm kidding. Well, with that, I will say GG to Air Kentucky. We definitely got to day 2, so we can say we could be happy with that one. We'll get him next time. Hopefully there's no EMC before, so you can get a little more practice in. And again, thanks for tuning in.
Yesterday, Eagle has bad memories of grip. The mask has absolutely killed him on this map.
Yeah, they're not particularly fond of grip, I can tell you that much. And Charles' PB is just 0.7 better than Beads.
It's one of the only maps I played, actually.
That's one of the only maps I played, yep.
I think I played with you in Excellent B.
Yeah, it's a good map. Probably, with Off-Road, my favorite map in the map pack. Apart from the identity, that can go burn in a fire.
I'd have to agree with you there.
Not fun on keyboard. Spoderdo off to a good start. Bead. A little bit behind. The dirt portion. Bead is pretty good on dirt.
Yeah.
Spoder loses a lot of speed here. But still
He
ahead
gains
of
it back.
Okay. I'm not jumping out of the water. At least they learned that part this time.
Something.
Yeah, let's hope for Charles to fall off. Spoder's still in second. Ooh, Beat almost falling off. Ooh, okay. Spoder saves the day for now. Whoa, Emlan, thanks for the raid, guy.
Hello, Emlyn. Welcome.
Hello, Kefin. Hello, Nifman. Hello, Katsi.
All of the Bob enjoyers.
Yeah. Hello, Alpha Time.
Literally every Bob enjoyer.
First time chat up. Whoa. Beat. Not having a great time with this start here.
Doesn't look like it, but Spoder.
Spoder. Oh,
Ooh.
bonks. Going way too risky there. Oh, but Charles messing up. That was a rare sight.
But a very welcome sight for Evo.
Yeah, Nats
And
now still in the lead. Oh, Spoder also messes up though. Beat. Okay, has second place. So only a victory for Air White. Hello, Lingo.
Hey, Lingo.
It's not looking good for Evo Blue. They need to win grip. And off-road. And airwalk.
They need to win every map.
Yeah. At this point they do.
Well, they do, yeah.
And
It's
Beat this
3-1.
time with a better start, which is good.
But Spoder. Oh! Nats off the map.
Yeah, Nats is gone.
Good positioning here for Evo.
Yeah. And Charles has messed up before here. So... see where's Spoder.
time.
Doesn't jump out of the water. Okay. Beat though, very close to Charles. Can he even overtake him? He's trying. Ooh, way close for comfort, but it's a draw. And we take those.
Now what they need. They need a win.
Yeah, Lingo, if you weren't working on Sundays, you could be playing with Bead. Yes, that's, the Stabbeed is Bead. Bead, low airtime, nice. Everybody got the checkpoint. That's always the scariest part about this map, because people try for low airtime and then sometimes they just miss the checkpoint completely. And
Oh,
Bead lifts.
Bead.
Yeah, that is not looking good. Charles and Nat's already 0.5 ahead. What a good dirt turn though.
This almost reminds me of the Damascus match from yesterday, except just imagine Nats and Charles, but about a second ahead, and then
Yeah.
you get Damascus.
Yeah, Damascus are cracked. But, Nats and Charles, we already knew from last regional that they were very good. I think they also eliminated us last time. Raids in 5 minutes. Whoa, speed self guy. Why is Evo Blue red? Because they're bottom seed.
Everybody raiding today.
Thank you for the raid, speed self.
It's been, what, 3 raids since we've started? At least I've started.
4, I think, today. Or 5, even.
Oh,
Okay.
Spoder clipping. But
Yeah, but Beat with a
Nats
very
wide.
good start. And Nats'
Minder.
line is... oh, Charles also messing up, I think. Yeah.
Evo needs a victory here to
Oh,
catch
we need
back
an
up.
ace. Oh, that's
And
Nats
there's our
gone.
ace chance. Here's our chance for the ace.
Don't mess up now, boys.
B can safe a little bit harder, but Spoder still needs to drive pretty consistent because Charles is catching just a little bit here. Driving a little bit over the sand. That might allow Charles back in. B, you can tell, really safing here because even Spoder's now catching up.
Yeah.
Just one last turn to safe here, and then it's all over. Oh well, the round is at least.
Oh, Charles
Oh!
sniped! Speed! Too
What a
much
line.
speed saving. And they needed that ace, honestly. Now we need to ace 2 times in a row. Yeah, that is,
Oh, boy.
man.
My man came out of absolute nowhere for that one.
He's just saving a little bit too much.
Yeah, I need to go full risk now. There's no turning back.
Yeah. But Nats and Charles, they're not gonna give them this opportunity again. And Bede is already out of the picture.
Although catching Nats and Charles, but that doesn't really matter. Because B is the one that needs to catch back up. And Spoder
yeah,
bombing.
this is over.
Seems so.
Unfortunate, but Air White proves to be the stronger team yet again.
Yeah, definitely a tough matchup.
It is a tough matchup, yeah.
Not a lot of matchups are very easy.
I mean, they'd still 1v1 you anyway on any map, Emlan, so it doesn't really matter. XDD. Yeah. GG. Charles do be gaming.
He is game.
Alright. That was it. Evo Blue are out, I think.
Think that's how it is?
Let me see. I don't think there is lower bracket for day 2. So, yep, no lower bracket.
That's a rip.
Oh, I linked the wrong bracket even. And the command, but yes. That is it for Evo Blue, and Air White faces off against Damascus now. Alright.
Oh, that's gonna be an interesting match.
I think, unless Damascus loses to Air Aqua, which I don't think.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Alright. Let's see. Who are we gonna raid? Anybody from Evo Online still?
What's he on?
All right, everybody.
Yes,
that
Spike.
should be the last one. Alrighty. So, now should be Air White versus Damascus Gaming. Kind of what I expected, to be honest. Really good race there, though, between Evo Blue and Air White. But Air White is just such... Dude, Nats and Charles, man, they are a phenomenal duo. So I'm really curious to see how this one's all going to go here. But we should be, should be the first one. Yep, we are. Let me go ahead and see if I can go ahead and jump into this one real quick. But once again, we really do appreciate every single one being... Yep, we're in this one. We do appreciate y'all being here, watching the stream. By the way, if you're not tracking it, we are both live on Twitch and YouTube. This is actually our first dual stream, and they will all be this way from this point forward. We want to get as many streams out there as we possibly can across multiple platforms to get Damascus Gaming in front of as many people as possible. I am kind of sad to say, though, that unfortunately on the listening side, for some reason the graphics aren't exactly working. So you're just going to see the face cams with the gameplay, but that shouldn't be that big of a deal. It is what it is, man. Technical stuff happens on OBS every once in a while for me. But thus it be. But we'll still have listen-ins for this next one. Just looking forward to really getting into this. But yeah, everyone's starting to load into this one right now. We can go ahead and jump straight over into the game footage itself as we wait for the entire team to load up. They got 12 minutes to get in here, but they should not take that long. But hope y'all are doing really, really well. What I am going to do in the meantime is that we are going to go ahead and launch the intro video, because we were not able to show the intro video at the beginning. Trying to get Neil and Exotica into this one. Neil had a little bit of a longer run on the EMCs that took place earlier today, so he had to kind of rush over here, which is why the face cams weren't up, but thus it be. But hey, we'll be right back after the intro video. Hopefully y'all are having a really good time watching today. Appreciate y'all being here. We'll be right back after the video. Alrighty, man. We are just waiting for everybody else to still kind of load in at the moment. Know that Neil and Exotica are both really gunning to get through this next semi-final to get right back into that quarterfinals. DG has had some really, really good regionals. We have won every single one that we have taken place in so far, but just because you've won the past doesn't mean that you'll win the future. Every regional matters. And Neil and Exotica both know that very, very well. As you see, Nick's doing some practice runs here on control. Yeah, Salty, we got them good transitions down, man. I was able to finally get someone to build us an actual full-out stream suite, which is really, really nice to have. Which, by the way, putting this out there, if you come over to Damascus Gaming as either a player or as a content creator, you actually have full access to our entire creative suite. So if you want to make videos or any kind of cool stuff like that, man, you have access to that full suite. So all of our logos and all that stuff, man, it's all there available for you. But here we go right into the pick and ban. Team Red will ban first. Team Red being Air White. Team Blue, Damascus Gaming, they will be up second with their first pick following that. Let's see what Air White knocks off the board with their first pick here. And Speed and Frosty are the first two to go. Control being the first one that Damascus Gaming picks. Waiting for the next pick by Air White. This is really the time that your strategy's got to come into play. You have to figure out, you know, how long you think that the series is going to go for. Vortex is picked by Air White. Curious to see if Neil and Nick's been able to kind of work their way through Vortex. We're having some struggles with that one in the past regionals. Grip being picked by Damascus Gaming. Not a surprising pick right there since they're very dominant on it. If I was Air White, I would probably pick Breaking as my next since Neil and Nick's are not as confident on Vortex. There you go right there. Breaking is that next pick. And if it goes based off, like, I'm curious to see who is better on which track. But if you look at it through the eyes of just how Damascus Gaming has been doing, you could really easily see this one being a 2-2 right now. With the Breaking and Vortex being the two picks from Air White. This next pick is going to be crucial. Boys are definitely taking their time. They're going to pick Pool. That right there could be a deciding factor. And then you can see after that, Sinuous and then Airwalk is the randomly picked track. That is going to be it for the pick and ban. This can be a very, very close one, depending on how confident Air White is on Vortex and Breaking. The one thing about the pick and ban when it comes to Trackmania is that you're not necessarily picking the tracks that you are the best at, but you're looking at tracks that the other team might not be good at, as a hope to try to throw them off their game, try to get into their mental. Damascus Gaming definitely did that back on their second regionals against 100% Canadians with picking, oh my goodness, Aeropipes as their first track to go up against 100% Canadians on it. Definitely threw 100% Canadians for a loop. And it just seemed that Zettens and Tankron were not able to get back into it after that took place. But this is it, man. Damascus Gaming versus Air White here in the semifinals. Exotica Neil and Damascus Gaming versus Nats and Charles of Air White. This is the semifinals of the Trackmania World Tour Stage 2 NCSA Regional number 2. Will the magic continue to happen here for Damascus Gaming, or will Air White dig deep and dethrone the champs? That is the question that is being asked here today. As we start off here on the very first run on Control, as we see these 4 excellent racers already maintaining a really good pace and line right off the break here. Don't expect to see a whole lot of mistakes here from Charles and Nats. They're both veteran racers, and they're both really, really good at what they do here. You see right now that Neil, Exotica, and Nats are now really kind of fighting for that first place position. Looks like Charles did make a little bit of a mistake there at the beginning of Control, which is really going to come back to bite them here, possibly, depending on how the identity here goes. Nix and Neil right now both holding really good lines. Looks like Nats made a little bit of a mistake himself there. As Exotica and Neil are both really dialed in, it looks like. You can see him just coming through into the identity here. Neil up first with Exotica right behind him. Both coming in to secure the first ace on Control. That's going to be Damascus Gaming going 3-0 against Air White here on the first run. Really cannot understate how good Charles and Nats are. They are just 2 of the best NCSA racers currently out here today. But here we go into the second run here on Control. Neil, Nix, Charles, and Nats. Once again, the pack is just extremely close with Neil and Charles really right up there. You could almost say right now it's just 2 1v1s. Exotica did have a little bit of a slowdown coming into the dirt, but he's able to kind of get some momentum back here so he can kind of capitalize on it and take over Nats, which he's able to do here. Neil and Charles come into the bobsled first, with Charles a little bit lower than Neil. You can really see how hard these 2 are really fighting right now for that first place position, with Exotica putting really good pressure right behind. And Neil, unfortunately, slides out here. Now it really depends. Can Charles come to the identity first and hit it well? He's able to do it. It looks like he'll be the first one across the line with Exotica right behind him. Can Neil get over? He can. It's going to be a draw. 4-1 Damascus Gaming at this point.
Draw.
Really just goes to show, man, how phenomenal Charles and Nats are as a team. I mean, individually they're both phenomenal, but you put them together on a roster and they just become absolutely a lethal duo. But here we go into the third round. Looks like Nats unfortunately does make a mistake there off the break as they come out of this dirt onto the road. Neil, Nix, and Charles are just all right there in the beginning. Looks like Charles might have had a little bit of a mistake. Not totally sure here how far back he is. Not too far back, just out of reach of being a part of the pack here, as Neil and Exotica are both just neck and neck, almost tire on tire, as they work their way through Control. Charles really just 0.2 of a second behind them as they come into the bobsled here, and Exotica still up in first place as he's really trying to push up on Neil, overtaking Exotica and Neil now. Neil is right behind Charles, working to try to get his way back up into this thing. Exotica is kind of out of this one, unfortunately. Don't have enough momentum to get over the identity here. Really, he's going to come over this more cleanly. Neil's able to, coming across first with Charles 0.6 of a second behind. Not really sure what happened to Exotica there, but that victory does put Damascus Gaming up 6-2 against Air White as the fourth round starts. Charles is really showing a lot of life here in the semifinals. You can really see that Air White wants to take it to Damascus Gaming. They've been denied the quarterfinals now more than once. That's right, the grand finals, I should say, more than once. And they are really gunning to make it there today. Right now, just kind of 2 small 1v1s taking place with Exotica and Nats fighting for third place, with Neil and Charles fighting for first. Charles right now having a little bit better luck right now. Unfortunately, Exotica does make a little bit of an error there, clipping as he comes in. Neil right now is really up in first place. Let's go ahead and jump on with Charles right now to kind of see this fight happening. And from his perspective, you can see right now that Neil's got a pretty decent lead as they work their way through the final turn and coming into the identity. And Neil and Charles both bump as Exotica comes down. Can he get in first? He does. Neil, this might be, it is a draw. Unfortunately, man, with Neil and Charles both bumping like that, completely threw off what I thought was going to happen there. But that will be a draw thanks to Exotica being able to maintain good pressure and getting up into first place. That's why the race is not over until you are across the finish line. You just do not know what's going to happen, especially in regionals. Coming to the 5th run here, Damascus Gaming being within ace range to finish this one off. Can Nix and Neil get across this one in first and second respectively, or will Charles and Nats thwart that? Here we see Nix and Neil right now both working through. We're going to go ahead and jump into a listening here as we possibly see the final run here on control.
So good. Wow. And it was literally perfect. That actually, holy shit. I have to remember that. I actually got some of the bobsleigh, like, downhill. Like, I was driving in the bobsleigh the entire time.
Do you tap right when you hit the bobsleigh?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I learned that, like, yesterday. You gotta tell me this shit, man. I don't...
Bro, I don't think about what I'm doing when I drive. I just drive and it happens. That's just it. I didn't learn this game properly, and I still can't learn it properly. If someone tries to teach me something, I don't learn it. I just do it. It comes natural.
Here we go, though, coming into Vortex here. We're going to go ahead and stay with the listeners as they come into this first part. Now, Vortex has been a little bit of a frustrating map for both Neil and Nick. We'll see if they're able to get the kinks worked out and pull this victory away from Air White.
Charles is going to
Charles... Look at him, he's gone.
wait. Spawn. 107.22 running time.
Draw.
TCS and Curse wafted a golden point. League of Legends game. For EMC.
What?
Yeah, I get the golden points. I did a game on League instead.
Oh my god.
See who would win the match.
Oh my god, I flipped.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fast.
Who's third world on this
Ace.
I think my PB is a 104, something like that.
one? Yeah, mine's 0.7, I think.
Gotta jump in here real quick. Seeing that line right there, that was a phenomenal line from Exotic and Neil. Do that grass as they worked their way up into the identity of Vortex. I mean, just a phenomenal line from both of them. Really impressive. They can maintain this identity here. This actually could be an ace and possibly a PB. Both looking really clean coming through here. Can they get across in time?
No, I just had a good tech turn.
Not a PB, but man, what a phenomenal run from the both of them.
Yeah, but you could save the tech turn.
Yeah, but it's tech. That's the only
Going
thing I know how to
slower,
do.
I don't know, maybe going
Yeah,
fast.
but going faster on the Vortex. Yeah, exactly.
But man, phenomenal last run from the both of them. That was really impressive. Tying it up 4-4. Damascus Gaming and Air White, man, are really fighting for this one. Both Nats and Charles know they need to start taking tracks away from Neil and Nix, and this is the two tracks to do it. Will be Vortex and Braking, since arguably these are tracks that they are not as good as the competition on. You see Neil kind of made a little bit of a mistake there. This really comes up to Nixotica right now to get across this line first, but still, you can really see, if you've been watching these guys since they started playing Vortex, I mean, they've really been working out the kinks. A lot of the mistakes I've been seeing them make over the past few competitions that have pretty much been worked out. Unfortunately, there it is right there. That I have not seen that one yet, but that might be all Charles needs to get across the line first here. It looks like it's going to be what he needs. And with Neil being back, that's going to be a victory for Air White. It is now 6-5. Still no clear-cut winner here on this one yet.
Victory.
This one's really going to come down to pacing and who can hold the best line overall through this. But to see the score as close as it is right now in Vortex, you can really see that Nix and Neil have been putting in the time to improve on this, and it's really impressive to see. Nix does bump a little bit there, but the bump doesn't seem to be too bad. It's kind of lines a little bit for a better run, but I'll see if the momentum from Charles and Nats was some overtake, which it looks like it's happening right now a little bit. I mean, they are really just right on top of each other right now. I mean, like, the pack is extremely close. As we see Nixotic and Neil still in that first place, but if they can just get through the identity portion. You see that Exotic made a little bit of a mistake there. Nats made kind of the same mistake, which gave Charles a chance to kind of work up the field a little bit here. But man, you really see that Neil and Exotica are really fighting to try to pull this track onto their side. Nix, unfortunately, makes a bit of a bump there that might give Charles the ability to get in front of him and maintain that position, as long as Neil can maintain first. And it's neck and neck right now. 1/10 of a second in between them. That victory does time back up to 7-7. So now it is a game that can be ended by aces on either side. Very, very close. Neil does bump a little bit there coming out of this one, but the bump is not too extreme. The pack is still very, very close together off the break here. See them both coming out. Neil does kind of a little bit of a weird exit out of that jump. Nix is just right behind Charles and Nats right now. He's really got to try to make some speed back here, get that work in to push his way up. Oh man, what a weird launch. That bled some speed. As you see, Neil comes back into striking range here. Nix is kind of far back. Nats makes a little bit of a mistake coming out of that one, and Neil does correct just in time. Seeing a lot of mistakes out of the Damascus Gaming squad right now. Charles and Nats are looking really, really good. If they maintain the identity, this might be it here on Vortex. And yeah, it looks like this is going to be it here. Vortex should go to Air White, and it does. As we see Neil taking a break. Getting some sun on the bottom of his car. 10-7, Air White does take the first track off of Damascus Gaming here in the second regionals. They are now tied up 1-1. Phenomenal job by both teams there, though. I really can't be too upset about that one after seeing the improvements that Neil and Nix have both made. And then knowing the quality of racer that both Charles and Nats are as we come here into Grip. Now, Grip is going to be an interesting one because both Nix and Neil are both phenomenal on this track. So we're going to go ahead and jump into a listen in here for both of them. We'll be back here very, very soon with some casting.
Are you kidding me? I saved, and it was a fucking insane time. Holy shit.
Victory.
Ah, dude, I just cramped.
Why did I save that? That could have been my 52. Yeah, I am gonna wow. That would have been a 52-9 low.
Yeah, but you didn't. Point.
Nice, that's actually good. Oh.
Draw.
Alright, we need to pull away a bit. This is not good. Because if we lose this one, we actually just lose the match.
Oh no.
Nice. I accidentally went into alt cam 2 in the second identity. That was very bad. Just fucking close up on my car's ass while it's almost tipping over. Unfolded. Here, just focus on the calls. Wow, we are awful at this game. Holy shit, we're actually gonna lose to fucking Charles in that. Now we got this. We'll win this map.
Alright, 2 aces in a row. Take nothing else. Let's go.
Nice. Dude, that is a good time from him.
Victory.
He's actually good at the game, dude.
Yeah, but he wasn't
He's
playing this
good
well
and
in
he
the other
trains.
match.
Yeah, well. No! No! No, no, no. Dude, I was on a 52 something.
Draw.
Oh no.
Alright, we just have to beat Nats, that's it. Just beat Nats and we're fine. Don't worry about Charles. Don't worry about the 52 either.
Safe, full safe.
Tyson on gone good runs that I have to full
Oh,
save, too.
baby. I don't know if anyone else's hearts had stopped during that one, but mine definitely... Oh, my goodness. Y'all, real quick. My heart stopped on that last one. I don't know about you all, man, but that one had me going for a minute. Oh, me goodness. Me goodness, me goodness, me goodness. Making up whole new words now, man. That was absolutely insanity. Now it is 2-1. Damascus Gaming up against Air White by 1. Braking has not been the track for Damascus Gaming, which is why, if you heard them talking earlier, they had to win grip. So now, I see right there, oh, a bunch of mistakes off the brake here as Exotica kind of races off all by himself here. I think the nerves of that last track really got into kind of everybody at that point. That was a big swing. If Air White was able to pull grip away from Damascus Gaming, that series might have gone Air White's favor, which would have put Damascus Gaming out of the regionals in the semifinals. But here we go as Exotica's working his way forward. You can see that Neil and Nats right now are kind of in a 1v1 with Nats up by about half a second as Neil's working his way up here. Neil holding Exotic holding a really good time. He's just working his way forward into the identity as he comes into it. See if Nix can hold a good line here as he works his way through it, which he's able to. Can Neil get up in front of Nats is going to be the question here. It's going to be a victory for Damascus Gaming off the rip on braking. 2-1 as Charles goes off into Narnia. Y'all, I'm going to be... Woo! My heart is going to be pounding for a little while, everybody. Not going to lie. That one had me going for a minute. Here we go on the second run of braking right now. As the pack's very, very close together. No mistakes made off the brake here. As Nixotica, Charles, and Neil are really kind of fighting for this first place. Charles kind of pulling away right now. Charles goes a little bit wide here coming into the water section. Not sure if he bumped there or what happened. Nope, he's still right back in this one. Working the way through the dirt at the moment. Charles, Neil, and Nats are basically one car coming through the slide as Neil and Exotica kind of shoot forward here, coming down into the dirt section. Exotica taking that first place position with Neil right behind him. Charles is still right there, and so is Nats as Nix works his way through. Hitting the no engine as it comes through the water here into the identity of the track. Nix and Neil working their way. Looks like it's going to be an ace here for Damascus Gaming off of this one. 5-1 against Air White. But if we've seen anything from Air White is that they are a threat that is not to be underestimated. Super slow, since you're just coming back, man. There has been, Fights you just said, there's been some up and downs with Neil right now. There's been a few struggles, some mistakes here and there, but overall they've been able to kind of pull together and been working their way through this regionals. So I do take it back. There's actually not a mistake by Charles. Like, Charles does like to go a little bit wide there in that water section to kind of shoot himself forward coming to the next portion, but you can see right now that once again it's all four of them just almost tire on tire here. See Neil kind of shooting past Nats as Nix and Charles really fighting for that first place, but Nats is not out of this one either. They are all really gunning for this. I think Nats made a little bit of a bump. He's going to slow him down just a little bit right there, but he's still in the fight as Nix is going to first place. I think Charles had to reset there. Not really sure what happened to him. Oh, Nix does bump right there. Can he get enough momentum to get back through it? Nix crosses with Charles 0.2 of a second behind him. And Nats will cross next, which does make it a draw here. 6-2. Damascus Gaming still holding that 4-point lead. This is quite the matchup between these two teams, man. If you have not seen this before, Air White has always been a serious competitor, but they have 100% brought their A game here today. They are not making it easy for Neil and Nix in this one. Right now, really seeing Nixotica and Neil as they're really just working their way through. Charles still right there with them as Nix and Neil are almost tire on tire coming into the dirt section here on braking. And you can really hear, I mean, Charles is just right there. You can hear his engine just right behind Nix and Neil as they're coming through this, right down in the dirt section. Cuts off Neil right behind Nix. He is just really just gunning it right now. Neil is really slowing down here. This is going to be up to Nix to get through this next portion unscathed, to get through that first place position here. Good run here by Nix. Coming across the line with a 1:00.791, but Charles 2/10 seconds behind him. Here comes Neil to solidify that victory for Damascus Gaming. It will now be 8-3.
Victory.
Man, this has been quite the run so far. And I'm telling you, I'm not counting Air White out of it yet. Charles and Nats are just too much of a threat to drop the ball on. They will make you think twice. Looks like, unfortunately, Nix did make a mistake off the break, dropping back by about half a second, possibly a full second when he hits the check mark here. And it's a very significant slowdown here for Exotica. A full, almost 6 seconds behind. It's up to Neil to push. Charles right now probably seeing the mistake that Exotica has made, is going to try to capitalize on this to get a first place and get some more points on the board here for Air White, as Neil is doing everything that he can to keep Charles from doing that as they come into the dirt section here. Basically almost tire on tire. Charles might have a little bit of a better line as he's maintaining a really good pace as they both work their way into the identity here. I think that Charles did make a mistake. As long as Neil can come through this cleanly, which he's able to do, coming across the line with that first place. Neil almost a full 50 seconds behind as he just sits there staring at the water. Everyone look to the right. Nice little lake right there, by the way. If you're trying to vacation anywhere, this is a good spot to do it. You got the pool. You got some grass over there, man. It's a great spot to hang out, take the kids. Please call me if you're looking to rent that space out. We got you. Here we go on to the 6th run here on braking. Once again, all 4 racers are really just right on top of each other. Looks like Neil did make a little bit of a mistake with that slowdown. Let's jump on board here with Charles, since both Nix and him are really fighting right now for this first place position. I mean, it's just, you know, rubber banding back and forth. As they come into the slide here, Charles still maintaining a really good first place position as Nix and Nats are almost neck and neck here. Actually, Nats did make a mistake right there, so now Neil's in position to kind of overtake him. Really depending on if Nix can get in front of Charles here. This could be a draw or a victory, depending on how Charles takes this one. It's clean for Charles. Nix across the line second with Neil. Oh, Neil is actually behind Nats. The live ranking is wrong. It's going to be a victory here. But it is too little, too late. With that 1 point, Damascus Gaming gets 10-6 against Sarah White. Damascus Gaming now within track point range. Y'all, my heart will not be able to handle another round like this one. I'm just letting y'all know. If you hear a loud thump over the mic, that is me having a heart attack. Please let my wife know to send the EMTs upstairs. I would appreciate it. But here we go into pool. This is the 5th track pick. Damascus Gaming did pick this track. Let's go ahead and jump in on a listening here for Damascus Gaming as they work their way forward in the semifinals.
Yeah, mud.
happen. Oh, now we'll just finish him
Draw.
off.
Yeah, give me like 2 rounds. I should be fine this round. Oh, I'm fine.
Checkbox.
I mean, you have a tracker going for every time that Neil yawns, says he's tired, or says he's hungry. By the way, do let me know. I do have some good news. We're going to be launching next to our Sector 6 store for Damascus game. There will also be a store for our Trackmania team. So Exotica and Neil will have their own merch. One of the shirts I am looking at bringing forward is a shirt that will say, "I'm hungry, I'm tired, I'm Neil." I don't know if y'all would buy that.
You already used all your driving skills for the day, is what you're saying.
Yeah. But then that'd always be an excuse. What?
Charles fucking hit at the very end and gave me an in.
I would give you something. No, before it comes. Bye.
Whoa.
Gee, I can't even type. I meant to type GR.
Bad fucking race.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and jump back into this thing right now. Alright. Oh, I hit something wrong. I hit the wrong button, y'all. Oh well, what you gonna do about it? But anyway, back into this thing here. Damascus Gaming is right now 3-3 with Air White. You can see right now that Exotica is right behind Charles Neal, holding that third place position as they're working their way forward right now. Damascus Gaming doing a really, really good job at keeping the momentum going forward here. They are still tied up. Air White has got to pull this track if they want to stay in this one, but it's looking like Neal and Exotic are doing really good work on this run. Unfortunately, Nix does make a bump right there. If Neal get across the line first, he is, but only by a 1/10 of a second. You want to talk about a quick one right there. Damascus Gaming is able to take that one. Right now, you can really see that Neal's holding a really good position right now. Unfortunately, he does make a bump with Charles being able to take over the first place position. Neal and Nix right now are both just right on top of each other, tire on tire. As we're watching Charles hold that really good line, but Neal and Nix are gaining on him right now. Nats is not out of this one either. He is right behind the leaders as they come into the identity here. And here they come with Charles across the line first. Neal right behind him by 0.6 of a second.
Victory.
It is a victory for Air White. It is once again tied up 6-6. This is anybody's track at this point. Damascus Gaming has to win 1. Air White has to win 3. While that is quite a mountain for Air White to climb, it is not impossible. Here we see Charles, Nix, Nats, and Neil right on top of each other right now. The pack is very, very close as they work their way through the 6th run of pool. Neil unfortunately bumps right there right now, so now it's with the Exotica to try to get in front of Charles here as they're working their way into the grass section. Nix has got some really good momentum, but Charles has a little bit of a better line as they come into the identity here. See if Nix's momentum can carry him through, but looks like Charles just has too much speed, and here comes Nats right behind him. And Nix unfortunately bumps, which does give Air White an ace. It is now 9-6. Damascus Gaming can now make no mistakes, even a draw. Will put Air White over the line. Slows Air White has got a phenomenal roster. Charles and Nats are absolutely lethal as contenders. Really love seeing the two teams race, man. I mean, it honestly does make it a lot of fun to see them so close together, man. Like that's honestly what like to me, like obviously like, we really want to see Damascus Gaming take the victory here, but I do have to say, like, I love the close races. I love seeing the nail biters. It just makes it a lot more enjoyable to watch as a whole. These guys absolutely kill it. And looks like Neil and Nix learning from the mistakes they made on the last run. If they can just keep this momentum up, they should have an ace to respond with. That is going to be 9-9, Damascus Gaming, Air White. Let's go ahead and jump in here on a real quick listen in for this final run. It's going to go one way or the other.
Draw.
Oh my god.
54-4 again.
That's that's officially a draw. Overtime is officially in.
Days. Fuck, I just lost his lap. Oh my god.
Dude, what are they driving? Holy fuck. I didn't think Nats could get a 54, I'm gonna be honest. I think he'd ever drive a 54 in his life. Oh my god.
Dude, I slid out for some reason. I released as well.
Dude,
That was so
honestly,
close. It was like
phenomenal race right there from the Air White squad. I mean, that's phenomenal. 54s just back to back like that, man. Really, really, really good. Yeah, this track was picked by Damascus Gaming. Air White does take that overtime, so now it is 3-2. Damascus Gaming still has to win 1. Air White has to win 2. This is not over yet. Absolutely phenomenal racing from the Air White squad. And here we go into the first run of Sinuous. I do not believe I've seen Sinuous yet. Neil does go kind of wide there, and Exotica right behind Charles as we come into this portion. Really, right now, trying to just get a little bit of momentum to go forward here. I've seen from before actually this portion, but this is really turning into just an absolute brawl between both teams. Charles holding a good first place. Exotica right behind with Neil. As we make this final climb through, it's going to be a draw to start this one off. 1-1 Damascus Gaming. Charles is really showing, and so is Nats, that they are not to be discounted in the NCSA, man. Both just phenomenal racers as we go into the second run here on Sinuous. So right now, both Nix and Neil have got really good pacing right now with Nats in the middle of both of them as Nix holds first place, Nats in second, Neil's in third. Both holding really good lines. Charles is right now about a second behind the pack as Neil once again goes a little bit wide here, and Exotic is holding that first place with Nats right behind him. Coming to the slide here. Charles really working to try to get his way back into this one as Nick's still holding that really good line. Neil's getting a little bit more momentum than Nats on that last little portion right there. He might be able to overtake for an ace here if he can maintain all the way through, which he's able to. Damascus Gaming is now 4-1 against Air White. When you've got two teams of this kind of quality, this is no joke. Nats, Nix, and Neil right now all kind of fighting for this first place position with Charles coming up right now. Air White did not like the fact that Damascus Gaming pulled an ace in the last one, looking to get one of their own to respond with, but can Nix and Neil slam the door on that as they're working their way into the slide? Neil going a little bit wide here on this one. Nick Exotic holding really good pacing here, but he's able to get good momentum out of it. They've got to get in front of Charles if they want to deny this draw. And it's not going to happen as Damascus Gaming and Air White draw for the second time on this track. DG 5 to Air White's 2. But really, really impressive from both of these teams. I love when we get to face off against Air White, man. These guys are just absolutely phenomenal. Charles and Nats both really impressed me overall as racers. And you get these two teams together and it becomes a really good competition. As you can see right now, Nix right now is kind of pulling away a little bit as Charles has to kind of lose speed and is kind of backing up, but the pack is still very, very close together with Charles trying to surge back forward here. Neil and him are really fighting for the second place spot as Exotica still maintains that good first place position. Neil has a little bit of a slowdown coming out of it, but Nix is still holding strong with Charles just right behind him. Any mistakes from Exotica, and Charles does make a mistake. Oh, that's a critical mistake at a time like this for Air White. Damascus Gaming gets the ace. Now it's 8-2. When you've got two teams of this caliber, that type of a lead can be absolutely detrimental for your chances of advancing on here. Unless there are serious mistakes from the Damascus Gaming side. This might be the last track for Air White in these regionals. Here we see just Nix, Nats, and Charles right on top of each other. Neil just kind of holding up that back position right now. He's about 0.2 of a second behind the leaders as he kind of surges forward here. Trying to get in front of Nats if he can. Charles, unfortunately, makes a very big mistake coming out of that. Nats has got to get in first place if he wants to deny this right now. And Nats goes low. This is going to be it if Nix and Neil can cleanly finish this one off, which they're able to. Track point, match point, Damascus Gaming does advance on from the semifinals. GG's to Nats and Charles. Phenomenal fight from these two. Absolutely phenomenal from both of those racers. Charles and Nats, hold your heads high. You guys are absolute monsters at this game. Cannot wait to see you guys in the next regional. Make sure you guys show them some love. They are the real deal. There is no doubt about it. I have mad respect for anybody that competes in these events, but I have a special place for two other teams, and that would be Nats and Charles and Zettins and Tankrom. But I know Zettins and Tankrom haven't been competing it recently, but you know, those guys were phenomenal. I love those guys, man. They're phenomenal racers. But I do believe that we've got a little bit of a break before we get into the next one. And by the way, if y'all haven't seen this, by the way, I am wearing the new Damascus Gaming hoodie. Let me see if I can find the right side. Here it is. The new Damascus Gaming hoodie. This thing is sick. It's got the writing for Damascus Gaming and Still the Victory, by the way. You know, just, you know, shameless merch plug. I don't even care. Y'all should buy these because they are sick, man. The quality of this thing is wild. Like, this is like a performance that like you would buy from like Under Armour. Super, super nice quality. Highly, highly recommend. If you have not checked out our shop, please go check it out. And like I said, we're also going to have merchandise dropping pretty soon for Neil and Nix here. We're trying to get it to the point that all of our esports teams across Damascus Gaming have their own stores. So if you want to rock Neil and Exotica merchandise, you're able to do that. We got some really funny ones planned. Like I was mentioning about Neil, I really want to have that one shirt that says, you know, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm Neil. And then I also want to have, we're looking at getting a Hawaiian shirt, like a floral shirt, but it's all Neil's face. It'd be pretty funny. Neil, calm down. But we do have a little bit of a break here. Let me see. Does anybody know if anybody is streaming this next one? I need to know. Oh, the other semifinals already done? It's finals already? They didn't take a break at all, did they? Wow. Alrighty. I take it back. The grand finals, man. It is that time already. That is absolutely insane. Man, this one has flown by today. Let's see what we got. We have... Oh my goodness, I do not know. They're not showing it on this one. Which one are they showing it on? They don't update the Wikipedia anymore, and it annoys me. Let me see. I will have it updated. Unless someone already updated it in the chat. Nope, not yet. Hang on, y'all. I'll let you know here in a second. We have, in the finals, Air Green versus Damascus Gaming. It is Nexotica Neil versus Mannix and Mello. That is going to be your grand final in the Trackmania World Tour Stage 2. But we can go ahead here and... let's do this. Let's run the video, and we're going to jump straight into this next one. Y'all, it is the big moment I've been waiting for. The grand finals for the Trackmania World Tour Stage 2 NCSA Regionals number 2. It's Damascus Gaming versus Air Green. We'll be right back after this.
The skies
And here we are, the grand finals. Right now, you can see that Nix and Neil are getting ready for this finale. It's been a long 2 days for all the teams involved, but the two best have advanced their way all the way.
Hello?
But it is definitely going to be quite the matchup. Mannix and Mello, once again, two very good racers. It should be a really interesting grand final. Got less than a minute before this one finishes. I mean, as far as this one starts up, I should say. It's going to be a really good matchup here between the two teams. Not really sure what kind of face Neil is making right now.
What?
Hopefully that's the face of a victor. Let me see your war face, Neil. He can't hear me though, but if you can hear the stream. Let me see your war face. You got a war face? But this is gonna be a big one. Damascus Gaming takes this regional. They will have gone unanswered for 5 regionals in a row.
Yeah, I can't.
But here we go, right into the pick and ban. Let's go ahead and jump right into this one here. Control was banned right off the break by Damascus Gaming. Speed was banned by Air Green. Waiting right now for the next pick, which is going to be Damascus Gaming. Looks like that ban was not intentional. They did not want to ban Control. There might have to be a reset here on the pick and ban. So we're going to stand by. All that is, no, they are using their own personal skins today. Which I am fine with. Not really sure. Hopefully someone is paying attention on the Nadeo side. Not really sure what's happening at the moment. Hopefully we can get a reset here. Alright, there we go. Now they're able to go in and do it properly. Speed and Frosty are the first 2 tracks banned. We've been experiencing that the entire time. There will not be a run on that. Grip being picked by Damascus Gaming. Once again, not a very surprising pick there. Grip is usually one of the ones that's picked by Damascus. Pull being picked by Air Green. Control is picked by Damascus Gaming. Braking by Air Green. Off-road Damascus Gaming. And Vortex is the 6th track picked. I was kind of expecting that one with Airwalk being the 7th random pick. So there they are, your picks. Grip, pull, control, braking, off-road, Vortex, and Airwalk if it goes to a Game 7. This is your grand finals, and they are starting here in a moment. Let's give it up for these 2 teams. Damascus Gaming and Air Green are 2 phenomenal rosters. We just saw a really good matchup between Damascus Gaming and Air White. Nats and Charles, we missed that one. You missed a phenomenal matchup between 2 phenomenal teams. But here we go. This will be the 5th grand finals that Damascus Gaming has come into. Can they finalize this win? as we load in here on grip. And once again, it is Damascus Gaming's Neil and Exotica versus Air Green's Mellow and Mannix. And I'm 90% sure that everybody here knows about AIR, but AIR is actually an acronym. It's America's Intermediate Racers. They are an organization, phenomenal group of people if you are looking to get into Trackmania. But here we go, entering the first run on grip. We are going to go ahead and go right into a listen in here, right off the break. Hear what the boys have to say on this one.
Tell your parents you're too tired.
Oh my days. Manox? Actually,
Victory.
driving around?
I mean, this is just Charles Nats all over again, pretty much.
I mean, I'd say no, it's not Charles. Charles won the race. I'm turning off HUD. I'm not.
Yeah,
playing
why are you driving
on
with
the
HUD?
finals. I don't know, man. I'm
Alright,
looking
alright.
around too much. I gotta concentrate on my own shit.
Let's focus.
HUD off. Shirt off.
You were not focused.
Dog shit time. How? What the hell?
Ace.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I thought it was at least like a 0.2.
I know. I didn't feel
It
that
felt
slow.
alright. But okay, it's not.
So did Mannix.
He fell off 0.1 edge.
Well, I even drifted in the turn somehow.
I forgot.
Draw.
I gotta fix that identity.
Pretty sure we need to actually start up a comedy show with Neil. He is definitely really fun to watch on the listen-ins here. I'm gonna go ahead and keep their audio and their face cams up for most of the grand finals here. I'll be tuning in a little bit here and there. Right now you can see it's really close between Damascus Gaming and Eric Green. DG's only up by 1 point right now. It's still pretty much anybody's race. You see Mannix is really putting good pressure on Nix and Neil. The pack is very close. They worked their way into the water section here. Nix and Neil both doing really good pacing on this one. If they can just stay on the identity. Not sure why we're getting so much rubber banding right now. You see Nix and Neil working with the second part of the identity. Nix fortunately bumps right there. And that's going to cost them the ace on that one.
Victory.
But they are within track point range. An ace or a victory will solidify it for them.
Yeah, I can give you an
Also, 'cause these people are still actually training. They haven't played since the last regionals.
I crashed. Please don't jump out.
See right now, Mannix and Nix really right now fighting for this first place position as Nix just gets right in front of him here. Nix across. It's going to be a draw.
Alright, no ace. Just play it safe.
Okay. Air time.
Neil definitely dialed in on this one. Not tired whatsoever. Starting to wonder if Damascus Gaming should invest in a better mattress so they can get some quality sleep at night. As they come into the 7th run here on grip, Nix and Neil both holding first and second with Mannix almost tire on tire with Neil right now. The pack is so close you can barely even tell their cars apart at this moment. As they come into the water here on grip, nobody goes airborne so far. Nix and Neil holding a really good line. As they come into the identity here, as long as Nix can get in front and Neil's not slide off here, it should be a victory here for DG. It's gonna be close! Mannix by 0.04 of a second in front, but that's all that it's going to take here. Damascus Gaming with the draw does take the first track of the grand finals. Damascus Gaming now up 1-0. Super slows, I'm thinking that you're right, man. I'm sort of wondering if you need to start investing in some coffee and energy drinks. Maybe some Damascus Steel energy? Ooh.
Alright, let's recover on this one.
Yeah. Randomized there, they're definitely dialed in right now, there's no doubt. I think Neil just fell asleep. But here we go, the second track, Pool. Coming out of the opening here, no mistakes made so far as Neil, Nix, and Mannix, Mello are all right in the same pack right now. Neil's going to pull away from the pack a little bit. About 1/10 of a second up as Mannix is really fighting to try to get in front of him here as they come into the plastic. Working their way ever closer to the identity and the finish line here as Mannix has a little bit of a weird slide out there. Nixotica is really fighting Mannix right now for this first place. Mannix got really good momentum as they come into the grass here. Neil is really right now holding a good third place position as they work their way up into the identity here. Nix and Mannix are almost tire on tire coming through as Mannix starts to kind of shoot forward here. And he fortunately slides out. Nix and Neil are able to get a ace.
I'm so slow.
Yeah, it's 0.2 hand Manox.
3-0 Damascus Gaming to Air Green. Jump on board here with Nixotica. Is working right through the dirt into the plastic right now. Mannix holding the first place pretty consistently with Neil right behind him. Nix is starting to gain a little bit of momentum, working his way up the field. All four. Unfortunately, Nix bumps right there, but it's going to be up to Neil right now to get up in front of Mannix. Playing very aggressive right now as he works his way forward. Up and into the identity. He has to play this perfect if he wants to maintain this lead and deny. He slid out, unfortunately. This might be an ace here. It's not. It's going to be a victory. Damascus Gaming will be 4-2 now against Air Green.
Victory.
Nix right now holding a good first place. Miller right behind him. Mannix on taking that third place since Neil made a little bit of a bump there coming into the dirt section. Right now we can really see the leaders right now. We're going to look up here at Mello's POV to get right behind Exotica as they work their way through this road. Nix holding a really good aggressive line as he works his way. Gaining really good momentum, holding a really good pace. Now entering the grass section. Neil's back by about 1 second here. As Nix enters the identity with Mannix trying to get up in front of Mello right now. They're trying to get up to cut him off. Nix right now is almost tire on tire with Mello. Able to cross the line by 0.07 of a second.
Draw.
Another draw here as Damascus
arms
Gaming
sweaty.
continues to
Balls
maintain its 2-point
hurt.
lead over Air Green.
Someone dead.
So right there, Neil just mentioned it. Mannix did have a little bit of a mistake back there. He's now back by 1.5 seconds as Nixotica makes a massive mistake. Let's jump on board with Neil here as Mello and him begin to fight for first place. Entering the road right now, Neil's got a little bit of a better line overall, but Mello seems to be getting a little more momentum as they work their way through. Neil has got to maintain this aggressive stance versus the grass as Nix is out of this one completely by about 6.5 seconds behind Neil right now as he comes into the identity. Neil cannot slide out here if he wants to get this first place finish. He does slide a little bit there, but it's not enough to cause much of an issue.
Oh, yeah.
He has to get across quickly. 0.2 of a second is all separated him and Mello.
Just giving it a sec.
Yeah, it's starting to hurt.
I'm pretty tired too now. It's getting really
Yeah,
hot.
it's getting. Yeah, it's my fan's on.
Neil and Nix are now both tired. Their consistent yawning has been making me yawn on top of it. If you hear snoring on my end, I do apologize. But here we go into the 5th run here on pool. Neil and Nix right now holding first and second respectively with Air Green right behind them as they come into the dirt section here. Neil and Nix almost tire on tire right now, trying to get an ace to come into the plastic right now. So on board with Neil. Nix holding really good first place to come through the water into the road. Both Neil and Nix holding a really, really good pace on this one. They can have no mistakes. They want this ace right now since Mannix is only a 1/10 of a second behind them. Nix and Neil are just right on top of each other right now as they come into the identity. Neil holding that first place position as Nix. And then we're kind of rubber banding back and forth. Mannix trying to shoot in front right now. He took over to the second place position. Can they get through? It is going to be a victory. Neil was able to pull a PB on that last run with that 5.4588.
Yeah, mine was a 6 before, so you just beat my PB.
Excellent run right there by Neil. Throwing up PBs in competition is never easy. And then Neil, unfortunately, after that awesome PB, does make a mistake.
2 matches in a row.
We might have to look into investing into coffee or energy drinks for sure. But here we go as Nixotica and Mannix really battling right now for this first place position. Neither one of them wanted to let that spot go as Nixotica and Mannix come into the identity almost tire on tire. Mannix is a little bit of a better exit coming out of it, but can Nix get enough momentum? He is not able to. It is going to be a victory here for Air Green. Damascus Gaming is now 1 point away. Air Green is now 1 ace away.
Victory.
He's weak.
Anything can still happen here. Both teams are within range. Any mistake from Air Green or Damascus Gaming can put this track into the opposing team's pocket. As we go into the 7th run here on pole, you see Mello, Neil, and Exotica right now are all battling for that first place position. Neil and Exotica right now holding first and second, but by a very slim margin as Mello begins to kind of drop back here. Mello and Mannix are almost on top of each other as we come into the last part of the plastic here. Exotica and Neil kind of slide a little bit there as Neil goes a little bit on the wide side, kind of bumping, I believe.
Yeah.
He might have dropped back into 4th place, depending on the live ranking. Yes, he has by almost 0.7 of a second as Nixotica enters right now. As long as Nix can cross the line, we have to get one of us in front of Air Green. And that's all that's going to matter right there. The draw is all that's needed. That 1 point is able to put Pool into Damascus Gaming's pocket.
Again. By getting ace. I don't know. Just...
Wheedly.
When's the next regional?
You're gonna talk about next regional? We just...
June 10th, okay. What?
Oh, I have a thing that weekend. It's on a Sunday. It's on a Sunday. I think it should be done. When does EMC end? I want EMC.
Damascus Gaming is now up 2 tracks to Air Green to come into control. Damascus Gaming has looked very, very good on control, having very consistent runs on this track so far today and yesterday. Really kind of curious to see how they're going to do today against Air Green.
Actually find a League 1 team next season.
Right now we see that Mannix holding a really good first place as they come into the bobsled here. Mannix holding a very slight margin as Neil overtakes him coming out. Looks like Mannix did make a bump there, which is going to cost him some speed and some time on the clock. So we're with Exotica here as you look at them come in to the final turn before the identity. Gotta hit this just right. Looks like they are through. Damascus Gaming with an ace over Air Green on the first run of control.
Don't stop yelling at me! Don't yell at me! I will quit this game right now.
I literally have the window open now too, and it's 50 degrees out, and it's getting hotter. It's like, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Probably because of the PC? Was it getting too hot?
Here we go, coming into the second run here of control. Mannix, Neil, Nixotica, and Mello are just right on top of each other as they come out of the dirt into the road. Jump on board here with Neil as he's right behind Nixotica, with Mello following very closely behind him. Air Green realize that they've really got to show some life now if they want to get back into this thing. If they lose this track, going 3-0 against Damascus Gaming can be a very lethal thing. As we see them coming into the bobsled now, Mannix, Nixotica, Neil following very similar lines as they come through this. Mannix and Nix are almost tire on tire as they come through this last turn into the identity once again, launching up into the bobsled. Neil does bump off pretty hard. Nix able to get across, oh, just a 1/10 of a second in front of Mannix.
You're never gonna get a 58 match.
Let's go for it. What's after this map?
Victory.
Another good one. No, it's breaking.
No, it's breaking and then off.
A victory for Damascus Gaming does put DG 4 points ahead of Air Green on the third track. You've really got to think now, if you're Air Green, you start to feel this thing kind of slipping away. Like what do you do to start to get back into this? It's not too late, but the door is closing. And you've got to figure out a way to get back in this before Damascus Gaming puts such a big lead in front of you. That victory is just such a mountain to climb that it's almost impossible. Once again, we see Nix and Neil holding a good first and second place position. Looks like Mannix and Mello did make some mistakes coming out of the break there as Nix does fly off the bobsled. Neil making mistakes of his own right now. It looks like Mello and Mannix, their prayers have been answered on this one. Nixotica is about 2.5 seconds behind Mello right now as Mello begins to enter the final turn before the identity. He has to nail this identity if he wants to get across the line first here. As Nix makes another mistake. They've got to get across the line. Nixotica coming in now. It's going to be a draw here. Unfortunately, Mannix was not able to capitalize on the two major mistakes that Nix and Neil made.
I want to get that start again that I had. Holy shit.
Yeah, you were. Look as fuck. People do 58.5 with 36.0, I think. 35.8. 40 bobsled.
Let's zoom aboard here with Mello in the back so you can get a little bit of a better picture of what's going on with all the four racers right now. You can see Neil right now is barely holding on to first place with Mannix is right behind him. Mello's in that third place spot with Exotica sitting here right now in fourth as they come into this jump. Neil and Mannix right now coming into the bobsled first, followed closely by Mello and Exotica. Good entries and exits from all four of them. Looks like that Mello had a little bit of an issue.
Yeah.
Dropping back to about a second now behind Neil. As they enter the identity here, Neil looking good, Nixotica looking good. He might have enough speed to get in front of him. Almost.
Are you kidding me, Mannix? Oh my god.
Another draw here on Damascus Gaming. We're talking 1/100th of a second difference between Nixotica and Mannix on that one.
Deadass.
But Damascus Gaming is within ace range of putting this one away. Air Green might be starting to feel this one really slip away. Really good lines and pacing right now from Exotica and Niels. Are coming to the dirt section here on control. This is really where Exotica feels at home, is in the dirt. He's one of the best racers to do it. As Neil and Nix work their way into the bobsled here. Good entry from both. X a little bit rough there for Exotica. He's able to correct a little bit to come out with good enough momentum. As they work their way here once again to the final turn before the identity. Neil's up first, Nixotica right behind. Can they make it? Neil bumps pretty hard. Nix across the line first. Neil's just a little bit high. It's going to be another draw
Where
here.
Are you?
Hi.
You could have beaten Mannix.
No, I couldn't. Look, I want another chance at 58. You didn't have one, so I went again.
Oh my god.
Ándale, vamos.
6 run here on control. Damascus game double the points that Eric Green currently has, but all it takes is one ace for Eric Green to be right back in this one. As we see Neil and Nix both make some small mistakes there coming out of that small jump as Manix is up by about a half a second here. We can see Nixotica and Neil both working their way back up, try to get in front of him as they work their way into the bobsled. Neil very high on that one, almost clips the post at the top and then bumps on the way out. Nix and Neil might have given them what it takes to get an ace here, not sure, as they are able to get back in front of Mello once again. Man's a bit of the identity first, followed by Nixotica and Neil. Can they get through it? Another draw here for Damascus Gaming and Eric Green, 9-5. There got to be no mistakes from Eric Green.
I did.
Oh yeah, you
First
They
round
must
I
get
did.
2 back-to-back aces to finish this one out if they want to get a track point on the board.
Dude, I'm not.
By the way, I do want to point out that the link that was just thrown up is our Patreon. We are not going for affiliate or any type of monetization with any streaming platforms. We want to be able to stream it everywhere. So if you are looking to support Damascus Gaming or subscribe to the channel, the best way to do that is through our Patreon. We do have honestly a cheaper option than a subscription to Twitch. It's a $3 option. If you want to throw that support up there, we would really appreciate it. All the money that we make in Damascus Gaming goes right back into the company itself and our players. Here we see Nix and Neil right now coming through on the 7th run. Manix and Mello have both made some really serious mistakes. So there's major mistakes right now from Nix and Neil come to the identity that's going to final out control in DG's favor. It's looking good for both of them. And an ace finishes it out. 12-5. Damascus Gaming will put control away.
Never get a 58 this whole
The series is now 3-0 against Eric Green.
What's crazy is that, like, the 58.5 that I got was, like, months ago. Like, literally, I have not driven a 58.
It was like the first few days of hunting the map.
Yeah, like, that was, like, my first session of hunting the map. And then never again. Whatever, this map I could PB on for sure, because my PB is not hunted at all.
There we go, braking. Braking's been a little bit of a rough map for Neil in these past couple of runs. This might be a chance for Eric Green to get a point on the board.
If I stop cramping on my legs, I actually press brake.
Neil making a decent mistake right there off the brake. He's up to Nix right now to get up here in front and prevent an ace from happening. Manix and Nix right now both fighting pretty hard to come into the water here on braking. Nix with really good momentum coming out of the water here as Mello and Nix and Manix right now are really fighting. You can see that Mello really wants this ace to start this one off as they come into the slide here. Nix with a really good line coming out. Before she does go kind of wide here, does bleed a lot of speed, but gives Mello the chance and Manix to shoot up.
Dude, I'm literally, there are beads of sweat dripping into my eye. It's so hot.
And it looks like Manix did make a mistake. If Neil can get across, it's going to be a draw here. Unfortunately, that mistake made by Manix will cost Eric Green what should have been a throwaway ace.
Draw.
My fucking air conditioning, kick on, please. It's so hot in here.
Nix, open the fridge.
Way too much money to say that, but
Yeah,
Nix and Neil right now working the way through. You can see that Neil had a little bit of a slowdown there off the break. Still on board with Manix here, so he's in a good position to see what's happening here up at the front. Nixotica right now holding a really good first place as Manix and Mello try to fight their way back to get up into first and second place. Air Green has got to win now 4 tracks in a row. Damascus Gaming cannot take one away from them as Exotica makes a really good exit out of this. But so does Mannix, and a little bit more momentum than Nyx does. He's able to kind of pull away here. We can really see Exotica and Mannix are now battling this one out. Neil might be out of this one by about almost 2 seconds back. Not really sure how far Mello is at this point. The live ranking is not updating properly. Oh, and Nyx falls off. This could be the chance, and it is. The ace that was denied last time was made possible this time.
I would have passed him too.
It is now 4-1 Air Green against Damascus Gaming.
Oh, it's so fucking hot. Holy shit. Alright, I'm gonna focus. Back into focusing.
So on board with Neil here. Mannix and Mello holding first and second respectively, with Neil right on top of them. Coming into the dirt right now. Exotica is back by about 1.5 seconds here, as Neil is trying to battle this one out to get in front of Mannix and Mello. Oh, Mello makes a little bit of a mistake there, bumping on that wall as Neil's able to overpass. Really right now trying to fight Mannix right now for this first place. Mannix got to be perfect, and so does Neil. Neil a little bit of a better exit, but can he maintain? He can't. He bumps, unfortunately. This might be another ace, and it is.
Oh my god.
It's 1:04.
I'm driving so bad right now. It's unbelievable. Alright. We can recover this.
Air Green is within track point range. One more ace for them will put this track away for them.
I'd rather we just move on to the next lap and go. But it's not good.
Makes it a little bit wide there, but he's able to use it to... Oh, and Neil bumps hard. Looks like it's something Exotica now to try to get up in front here. Any mistakes on Nyx's part can guarantee this track now for Air Green. Nyx and Mannix coming into the last water section here before they go into the identity of this track. Nyx has got to get in front of Mannix. Mannix falls off. He's able to solidify a draw here. Unless Mannix makes another critical mistake. Looks like he has. Oh, wow. Neil's able to get the victory. Good push through there by Neil, not accepting the draw there. But once again, Air Green gets another point, which puts them closer to pulling this track. Damascus Gaming has got to get an ace.
I'm done.
The amount of victories that are required will not be enough. Air Green will be put over the point requirement to put this track away. Mannix bumps off the front of his car right there. Gives Neil a chance to get up in front here. This is not over yet for Damascus Gaming for this track. Neil right now holding a really good first place. He's up by almost half a second in front of Mello. He has to get to the identity with no mistakes here. With Exotica so far behind, any mistake by Neil, and he does not make one. He's able to solidify the draw.
I PB'd by 0.5.
And that was a PB by Neil.
Alright, well, we need 2 aces in a row. So let's do it, I guess.
I'm not gonna ace this map. I can't even drive the map again. This is move on. Move on to off-road. Never hurt us to win 4-1. I bounced. I
Oh.
bounced. I got it. See?
Unfortunately, Neil does make that bounce at the beginning. This was probably going to be a victory here for Eric Green on this track.
Where are you guys? Oh, there you
We
are.
see Nix and Mannix right now battling for first place. Unless Neil is able to get up, though. This is
Oh,
going to be
wicked ice
too
slide.
little, too late.
He's gonna mess up. No one messes
Yep.
up.
This one is more than likely going to go Eric Green's direction. We'll be going to off-road next here.
You can still go for a PB. Huh?
You want me to go for a PB?
We've lost the map.
No. This is the PV strat right here.
What is that? What'd you do? What? What are you doing?
Have you never seen this before? It's where you're supposed to hit that. It's supposed to make you go into an auto drift around the corner.
Oh, like the white penis?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's completely luck based, but
Right.
it's a strat.
All right, it is now 3-1 Damascus Gaming versus Eric Green.
Okay, well.
Eric Green was able to take that
Back to a real
victory
map.
away from Damascus Gaming, be able to get a track on the board.
4-7 p.m.
Eric Green still has a massive mountain to climb. They have to win 3 tracks in a row. Damascus Gaming has to win 1 as we come into off-road here.
Yeah, but my day's over, which means I didn't get to do anything today during the day.
You don't do anything during the day.
Yes, I do.
Go to a Panera Bread? Yeah, you go to a Panera Bread, you get a bread, and then complain about the bread.
No.
Oh, you're gonna complain about the tiny apple that you get instead of whatever.
Here you can see elite conversation between 2 Trackmania
The
warriors.
thing that caused me to go to Panera Bread was the existence of bitches.
As Neil's first place, Mello's right behind him with Nick Zodica in 3rd place as they work their way. Coming into the slide.
I slide.
Nick slid out, so did Neil a little bit, but they're able to recover. Mannix always able to pull out in front. But Nix does have a little bit more momentum than Mannix does. They're now neck and neck as they come through this into the identity here.
Oh, that wasn't you. That was.
Mannix was up by 0.03 of a second there with Neil right behind by 0.3 of a second. It's a draw here to start this one off. Damascus Gaming and Eric Green now 1-1.
55.
Here we see the pack staying very, very close together with Mello just out in front by a little bit. Mannix did make a little bit of a mistake back there, was crossing back by about half a second right now. Exotica shoots forward. Nick's Mello and Neil entering the slide as Neil unfortunately slides out once again. Exotica now has to fight out with Mello. As long as Nix can get in front here. He did go a little bit wide, though, as you let Mello get up in front. Looks like another draw here.
So fast. What the hell? He got so much more speed than me. Or did I get a slowdown? I felt slow when I landed. I don't know what happened.
Did you land early? What is Maddox's skin? What is that?
Draw.
Alright, whatever. Let's finish this. I want to go outside. It's so fucking hot. It's
So
literally
no Trackmania player.
Bro, I'm not a Trackmania player. You see my
16
performance?
years you've been playing this game.
Yeah, do you think I want to go for 17?
Wow, you will, even if you say no.
Mannix, Neil, and Exotica right now. Mannix up in first place with Neil right behind him. Exotica is still in 3rd place here as they come up into the road section.
Is it? Special full combo.
Neil taking the safe route with Exotica taking the more risky route, but he's able to stay right there with Mannix as Neil slides out once again. Exotica right now right behind Mannix.
I think I'm breaking because I'm using touch break.
And the first victory of this track goes to Eric Green. It is now 4-3 against Damascus Gaming.
Look, we're gonna win this. It's fucking off-road. Just pay attention. Jesus Christ. It's like our best map besides Grid.
See right now that Nyx, Mello, and Mannix right now are on top of each other as Neil is still kind of holding back as Nyx flies wide. Not sure what would happen right there.
They're gonna ace us. Oh, the second I heard you laugh, I was like, you know what, I'm done trying on this map. Let's just go to the next one. It's already a lost cause.
What are you doing? Vortex.
So it's all, look. It's just I just want to fucking it's so hot. It's literally like, I could get up and check the thermostat and it's gonna say like, right. I'm sliding out, I have no grip! Oh my god. Check it.
Where are you going? He's gone.
Exotica is really having a really bad time right now. I think his thermostat's really jacked up in his house.
He's back. Hey, welcome back, bud.
Yeah.
Let's just fucking drive this. Let's just finish it.
Yeah. He's getting to me.
Alright, going to the 5th run here. Much better grouping here than the last 2 runs as Neil, Nyx, Mannix, and Mello are all right on top of each other once again. You can really see that Mello and Neil are fighting for 1st and 2nd right now. Here comes Nyx through the more risky run as he always does. Going to the slide here. Much better slide from everybody involved. Neil's got a little bit of air. Neil holding a much better position here as they come through the grass into the identity.
Hey.
Victory. Damascus Gaming's able to go up now. It should be 8-5.
Victory.
The
I've
thermostat?
never set it to 88 degrees. Yes, it said 88 fucking degrees Fahrenheit. No wonder it's blistering hot in here. Holy shit.
Turn it down to what, 68 now?
Yeah.
Sure, we're just waiting on this specific.
Focus up. Let's do this.
Nyx and Neil trying to get their focus back right now as unfortunately Nyx is dealing with some problems in his apartment, but they're able to just keep the focus right now, holding 1st and 2nd. Oh, this mistake was actually made by Mannix right there. This might be an ace opportunity right now for Damascus Gaming. With this ace, they'll tie it up. Coming into the no engine, into the identity here. Neil and Nyx have to make this perfect run. They'll have an ace, which will tie it right back up. And there it is, 8-8, Damascus Gaming and Eric Green.
Jesus Christ.
I was safe in that.
Hope y'all are really enjoying these listenings, man. The comms are really making me crack up.
He saves a lot. Let's do it again.
One more run here. If they can get an ace or a victory, Damascus Gaming can finish this. But then again, so can Eric Green. It's anybody's track at this point. Here we see all 4 racers are right in a very close pack as Neil, Nyx, and Mello are all together here right now. Let's go on board with Neil. as they work their way forward. You'll see Nick Exotica take the more risky run through the checkpoint here with Neil right behind him as they go into the slide. Unfortunately, Mello does make a big mistake right there. This might be it here for this grand finals. The run just has to be consistent and smooth. Just play it safe, and they'll be across the line here as Nix and Neil work their way across, coming into the no engine, into the identity. And it's Nix, it's Neil.
GG.
Are your Trackmania World Tour Stage 2 NCSA Regional number 2 champions. GG's to Eric Green. Nick Exotica, get outside and go touch some grass, man. He's sweating to death.
Oh my god.
Absolutely
that was so bad.
insane.
That was like, that might have been our worst match. Ouch.
Both of them were definitely struggling a little bit there towards the end. So, apparently, if you want to have a good shot against Damascus Gaming, take away Neil's sleep and kill the air conditioning in Nick Exotica's apartment, and you've got a really good shot. Let's go ahead and jump in here. Nix, Neil, you guys there?
Yes, we are.
How are you guys doing, man? Nix, I know you were really struggling with that air conditioning, man. We actually had the listening going in for the entire grand final. I had my
so
mic...
bad.
I had my mic drop down on the Discord so y'all couldn't hear me.
Wait, they heard us the entire grand
The entire grand finals, baby.
Dude, we were.
Oh no. I hope SRK doesn't watch this. Anyways.
Oh my god.
But yeah, another regionals for the boys. How you guys feeling though, Nix? I know you are really hot right now, so I'm not gonna let this go too long. But how you guys feeling coming out of the second regionals with another win? That's 5 back-to-back, man. How y'all feeling?
I mean, I'm just glad we got through that one. I think we both could have gone into it a lot stronger. But
EMC.
yeah.
EMC, man. By the way, like the guys were saying, like they are competing in other things right now, so they've not been focusing as hardcore on the stage 2 tracks as they would have been in the first stage. So it just goes to show how dominant they both are, and the fact they're barely even practicing going into these things. But hey, I'm gonna let you guys get out of here. Anything that you all want to say to the stream?
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate you
I'm
guys.
surprised we
Main
have.
cast.
Yeah, I'm surprised we have viewers after keeping our mics on the entire grand.
Yeah.
Hey, let us some good content. But anyway, guys, appreciate y'all. I will let you guys get out of here so you guys can go on about your day. But guys, good competition. We will see you guys on the next regionals.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, later, y'all. All right, well, anyway, that is going to do it for us here. I do want to ask the chat, is there anybody that we should raid? I'm looking for specific Trackmania streamers or content creators we can go show some love to. Let me know what you guys are thinking on that regard. I do also want to let you guys know that once again, the Patreon is officially up and running. If you guys want to come subscribe and support Damascus Gaming directly, come drop us a subscription on our Patreon. Like I said before, we are not going to be going for affiliate or partnership status with any streaming platforms, whether that's Kick, Twitch, YouTube, whatever. We have been multi-streaming now to YouTube and Twitch. We want to keep the our freedom to be able to stream wherever we want to and put content without any restrictions on that. So we're going to keep going this way. I do also want to bring up the fact that we have a massive charity event taking place on July 29th of this year. Damascus Gaming is working with the El Paso Children's Foundation. We are hosting a actual Rocket League event for the high schools here in El Paso. The venue space is actually going to be on Fort Bliss at Freedom's Crossing. We have the parking lot across from the Grand Theater that is going to be blocked off. We've got food trucks, refreshments, games, like you name it, we got it all going into this event. It's going to be very, very big. You can come out and watch. If you're not able to, we'll also be streaming it hopefully here on this channel. So please come check that out. And then obviously donations are also like very much appreciated towards that event. We are trying to raise money for the El Paso Children's Foundation, specifically for cleft lip and palate children and their families. All revenue that is raised from this event will go directly to the foundation. We are touching none of the funds. So please come support a great cause. If you want to rock out with some sick Damascus Gaming merch, check out our store. It is on the Damascus Gaming website. Just click the merch link. You can buy a sweet hoodie like this one. It's got the sweet sleeves to have the Steal the Victory. We're also going to be bringing out the Trackmania and other eSport team stores as well on our store as well. So if you want to support the Trackmania boys or any of our other teams that we have competing, you can support them directly as well. So a bunch of big stuff happening in Damascus Gaming. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and drop a raid here. Let's see, Neil said Wizzy TM. That is his actual tag, right, Neil? I don't want to raid the wrong guy again. But we can go ahead and start working our way into getting that happening here. Let me make this raid. I do believe... Let's see what we got going on here. I'm going to actually do it through the Twitch chat itself because I don't know... Oh, it went offline? Who else? Alright, let me copy this so I'm not screwing this up. Neil, if I raid the wrong person, I am straight up copying what you posted, so... Don't get mad at me. But everybody, I do appreciate you all coming out. We will see you guys here on the next stream. Looking forward to everybody being back for the Regionals number 3. Let's go ahead and make this raid happen. We appreciate you all. Everyone say hello.